everything.
We are women. It means that we are brave, strong, capable, unique. We are woman to woman.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. We are here as woman to woman with a very interesting topic today, isn't that, Toko?
Yes, very interesting.
We have
very educative.
Very educative for parents and for the youngsters, because we are right now at that time of the year.
Yes.
Especially, we're talking about South Africa, but we know it happens in all the countries, where many youngsters are preparing themselves to write Matric exams, the national certificate. And that is a dividing moment, because willing or not, or thinking about that or not, that will decide their financial, their professional, and their personal realization future.
Yeah.
And many of them maybe are under pressure, stress. They don't have the clear idea of what is happening. Our Matric exams are starting on Monday. That's why we are dedicating our show to all matriculants, parents, friends, because everyone plays a very important role in this season.
Everyone, even the parents, because I remember when I was in Port Elizabeth, there was a time that people were writing exams and all that. There was a lady who had failed and she blamed the parents. She said the parents did not support her. Instead, they would just send her to do things knowing that she's writing her exams. She's writing Matric, which is crucial for everyone. So they would just tell her, do this, do this. They wouldn't even think that she's in that final year where she needs to study hard. So parents as well are going to learn from today's topic.
And we are focusing on what happens after. Because up to the point that you get to Matric, it's nerve-wracking.
Exactly.
We've been there, isn't that?
Yes, Mrs. Sam.
And I think in my country it was even more difficult, because different than South Africa, there you have to complete your last exams for your grade 12, then you graduate, and almost immediately after, like a week after, you will start writing your Matric to the varsities that you wanted to go to. So it's not only one, you complete your education, then you choose. I would like to study Wits University. I would like to study in this university, UJ. So you have to write exams in all these universities. And your performance during the past years are not really relevant if you get a place there. So you go through a season of 2 months of pressure. And only those who have been there, and we did, and you did twice.
I
you
did
had
twice.
to write exams.
I did my Matric in Zambia. So before we came back to South Africa, then later on I wanted my certificate. Then they said, no, they can't give. I need, because I left without getting my certificate. When the exams came out, we were already in South Africa. So when they didn't want to give me my certificate, I said, okay, no problem. No hard feelings. I'll rewrite my Matric again in South Africa.
So you had to
then
go through
I
the
did,
same
of course,
twice.
already when I was old, and I was like, oh, the syllabus might be different and all that. But I passed my Matric anyway.
Was it nerve-wracking?
It was because, you know, with my age, because I wrote, you know, Mrs. M, now I was already old. So I did, I don't know if you know those N1, N3 and what. So the N3 part is these, oh gosh, for me it was just disturbing me. But thank God, with the wisdom of God, I made it, and I really made it well.
And we want to encourage the 897,000 students registered to start writing their exams on Monday. But not only to think about the exams. The point of the show today, the angle of the show is what happens after if things don't turn the way you planned. But before we go on, we have 3 guests in our studio today that will bring about their experiences and different stories. Before we go on, we have prepared for you stats on youth unemployment. What's the point of studying so hard and then you don't secure a job?
Yeah.
And the challenges that we have in South Africa to also secure a bursary to continue their education. Let us watch together.
To get an even clearer picture of the reality of matrics, in 2012, 1,208,973 learners entered the first year of school, grade 1. Of these, only 928,050 were in grade 11 and only 740,566 enrolled for grade 12, which is matric. In 2023, thus, 468,407 pupils, almost 40%, disappeared into the system. Given these stats, some analysts and politicians argue that the actual pass rate is only just over 55%. The importance of a good matric pass. Number 1, access to higher education. A good matric pass is often essential for university admission, affecting future employment opportunities. 2, career opportunities. Higher scores can open doors for more competitive fields and scholarships. 3, skill development. Completing matric equips students with essential skills needed in the job market. Struggles for varsity funding. 1, rising costs. University tuition fees and living expenses continue to increase, making higher education less accessible. 2, limited financial aid. While there are government and institutional scholarships, they often fall short of meeting the needs of all students. 3, debt burden. Many students graduate with significant debt, which can deter future studies and limit career choices. Addressing youth unemployment and ensuring accessible funding for higher education are vital for South Africa's economic growth and social stability. Promoting strong matric results can help pave the way for a more educated and skilled workforce. Another issue that plagues the South African youth is the unemployment rate. Once a qualification is attained, the bleak reality of a 49.14% youth unemployment rate looms over those who are now asking the question, what's next?
You see how hard it is to study, to pass, to have your certificate, your degree after, and you don't find employment. We are standing on 49%.
Yeah, almost 50 now.
For youth unemployment
Almost
rate.
50.
Something must change.
Yeah.
But before we look at the changes, let us go through different experiences. What happened after matric? And we have here today Yolo on the studio. Welcome to the show, Woman to Woman.
Thank you, Mrs. Marsha.
And we are eager to hear your experience.
I'm eager to tell it as well. Oh, it was really tough for me when I finished my matric. From primary, I always was not certain about what I wanted to do with my life. I said that I wanted to be an astronomer. I said I wanted to be an astronaut. And then I said I wanted to be a doctor. Then I said I wanted to be a lawyer. By matric, I wanted to be a civil engineer. So I went in and I was like, okay, let me apply for this. And then I applied for it. And then I also applied for a mathematical science main degree. So, but when the results came out for matric, I did not make it to qualify for these courses.
Yes.
So for both of them, it was really tough for me because already I am not sure this is what I want to do with my life, but I applied for it and I'm still not getting an opportunity to do it. And it was terrible because I had done Saturday classes. I'd done pretty much everything you can do to get those marks, but I did not get those marks that I expected myself to get. So when I got to UJ, you weren't allowed to even go inside because I went physically to Soweto campus to say, okay, can I do the extended degree of the mathematical science one? Because the one for engineering was already not there. So I then asked to get in. They said no one was walking in. It was really tough. There were many of us outside trying to get into UJ Auckland Park. But I lied. I told them that by that time I was not even in the church, Mrs. Marshall.
Thank you for clarifying that.
So I lied my way inside. I told them that since I did Saturday classes and we would always get access to the university, I told them they're asking for the matriculants for today. They're calling us inside. So the security guards believed my lie and they let me in. When I went in, I didn't even know what the Faculty of Science is. In my mind, I thought, I'm going to go there and I'm going to speak to someone who has the power to change the decision. That's what I had in my mind, because back home, we were living in a shack. My parents, they didn't have the best of jobs. Like, my mom was not working. It was tough. There's no one who's going to pay for me. No one is going to help me.
So going to varsity would be that opportunity not only to change your life, but to change the life of your family.
Yes.
This is what you had in your mind.
Yes. Yes, my sister had went to university. She was not working. She went to college. She was not working. My brother, I believe he also went to varsity. He also struggled to find a job. It was really tough. And then my other brother was still studying at the university. So there was no one to pitch up somewhere and help me. So I went in and fortunately I got a faculty officer. And then that faculty officer said, you know what, I'll change you to the extended degree for a mathematical science degree. This is not what I planned, but I'm like, okay, I need to get in and do something with my life. And so I did the maths degree, first year. And then I failed statistics in second semester. Mind you, by that time just before I did my first year, I also got rejected by NSFAS, had to go back and reappeal. I lied again. I told them, they told me in the NSFAS thing that, okay, you're not getting in because of your marks. But I went there and I was like, I have no idea why didn't I got in. I acted as if I was stupid. So they looked at my results and they were like, oh, we also don't know because it looks like you did well. So they sent it through again, and then I got in. So then I got in, and then I failed statistics, as I said, the first year, at the end of the year. At that point, I could see that this is not exactly what I want to do, but don't know what else.
So much effort. And you come to the conclusion this is not what really fulfilled you.
It's not fulfilling me, but then I went on, second year. And then I did my second year. That year, I failed, I did statistics again, passed it, but then I failed Maths 1B. This is a major subject.
Yeah.
Major subject,
Yes.
you get kicked out by the university, you reappeal to get in. So I had to reappeal to get into the university. By this time, I'm already in the church. So failing is already something at the back of my mind. I'm like, this is not the way. So I get in, and again, they give me an opportunity. I reappeal. 2018, I come in. I do there was something called alternative semester mathematics. So for Maths 1B, which I did do, and then I passed. At the same time, since I was doing the alternative semester Maths 1B, they gave me an opportunity to do Maths 2A for calculus and for linear algebra, which I failed.
And
The
algebra is bad. I don't like
and
it.
the calculus, I failed it.
Yeah.
And at that year, I also failed Stats 2 because I had an opportunity to do Stats 2A. Then I failed it as well. So I'm not sure, was it that year or was it 2019 when I started doing the Stats 2A? I'm not sure. But I know for sure about the maths, I failed it. Then I went in again and I said, let me do the alternative semester mathematics for Maths 2. That was the second semester. I failed again. Yeah, it It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. And it was not as if I was not studying. I was studying. I would be there with my roommate. I would sit there studying. So 2019 comes in. I'm doing stats. I believe this is the year I actually did stats 2A. And then I did because I failed the alternative semester mathematics for linear and calculus, second semester that I tried. First semester, I'm trying it again. I failed it again together with the stats 2A. So now I was doing 4 modules. And then I had decided earlier on to change my degree to maths and psychology. Now I was doing 4 modules, all of them, maths, calculus, linear algebra, statistics, and psychology. I decided to add psychology into my maths degree. Oof, you can imagine the confusion.
Yeah.
Because one is numbers,
There's nothing to do with the
the
other.
other is more of a human factor.
Because I'm more of a talkative person. I love people. I love to talk to people. I realize I'm trying to balance things out. But I don't know. So now that I failed, at that point, I kind of realized I need to stop doing this degree because while I was still doing the degree, I got introduced to software development via informatics. And when I did that module, I did so well in it and I was so glad and I was so happy. So I started to say to myself, like, I knew this is not it. This cannot be it. I cannot serve a great God and struggle in this area so much so it's almost as if the devil is kicking at my face with my academics. I am speaking, I had already responsibilities within the youth. I would speak to the youth about their studies and say, hold on, keep studying. But what can I show if I keep on failing? I had roommates that were getting distinctions, that were doing well. Now I'm going to church every single day. And what have I got to show? So they wondered how I was so calm. But that was because of the support that I had within the church. So which kept me going, which kept me fighting. So then I decided that I was going to do a software development degree. I started that in 2020. And after reappealing back into the university and reappealing again for funding, they gave me an opportunity to do that degree, which they don't allow for people to take another 3 years to start a new degree in the same faculty. But they gave me that opportunity. And then I was able to do my software development degree and complete it. I did it within 3.5 years and then I was finished. And then as soon as I was done, 2 months after that, I got employed as a software developer at one of the major companies in the country. So after all, I was happy that, it really, really worked out. It worked out. And I was not sure, obviously, in the beginning, but how it finally, it meant that support that I was getting, from in the church, being in the church, it really helped me to keep going.
So you are a story of someone who was heading in one direction and didn't find yourself in what you thought you were cut for. And because of the challenges you had, finally you got what you liked. Because I said in the beginning, Matric, it is a dividing season of a future. So it doesn't matter only to have a profession and money. You need to find fulfillment somehow. Today you are fulfilled. Now, how many peers you saw going through the same? They started a course and they realized it was not what really they wanted.
Over 50%. Over 50% would leave the degree and they would go to other degrees, like close friends of mine. By the time I was finished, everyone who was my friend, I had no one.
Sure.
That's how hard it is.
And to a certain extent, we could say that's a waste of time.
It is.
Because trying here 6 months, then you have to reappeal for funding. Then it's a waste of time. It's a delay in your career.
It's a delay in your career because you are not sure about what you want to do with your life. It really puts a delay because that was 4 years of my life that it was 4 years.
Wow.
And then added another 3.5 years for me.
7.5.
7.5 years.
Wow, that's a lot.
You could have finished by 4.
Yes.
Could have finished by 4 if you knew exactly what you want to study. You knew your passion. You were sure about it. would have been much more
Yeah.
easier.
And this is why also we brought T here. T from the YPG.
Yeah.
You said you found support within the church in the YPG.
Definitely.
T, what is the work of YPG right at this moment in schools? Because I know you guys go into schools, visiting schools, speaking to matriculants. What is the work? How the YPG is helping those who found themselves in the same situation?
Good afternoon, Dona Márcia, Ms. Toko, Yolo, and everyone watching us. It's a pleasure to be here again. And as the YPG, we go to schools, especially we have a special work with the matriculants. We bring to them not only a word of encouragement, because it is a period of a lot of pressure from the family, from ourselves, from themselves, from their peers as well. But also in the YPG, we have the different projects which we speak about widely. And in the YPG, according to the project, they can find, like, I like more to interact with people. No, I like more the secretary work, more administrative work, or I like media. So we have many of the youth who, because of the work of the schools, they joined the projects of the YPG and they found their passion. We have youth that even we had some programs ago, the story of some youth, they found their passion because of the projects of the youth. So we help them not only with that, only with the word of encouragement, but bringing to them an exposure of what they can do and other options that they didn't think about. And also the counseling, like when they come, they don't know what to do, they are overwhelmed by pressure, then we always have a mentor to talk to them, to guide them through, to show them a way, because when you have a lot of pressure, you don't see a way out. So because of that, we have the mentors as well who counsel them one-on-one.
And do you see in the YPG today, those who are coming, this uncertainty that Yolo had? They think they are cut for numbers, but all of a sudden they find out they are more people's person. Do you see that uncertainty in the number of matriculants 2024?
A lot. As she said, most of them, over half of the youth, they study for something, they struggle for that, and when it's halfway the course, it's like, I'm not really sure that's what I want. Some of them are, I would say, blessed to find something that it's in the same area, but not the same course they are doing. So they can still take a little bit of what they have done already and carry on, but it's still, as Ms. Marcia mentioned, it's still a waste of time of 1-2 years, and the failing and coming back until they realize how many times did you said, I failed, and I failed.
I counted 5.
Exactly. So until they realize, after all those failures, that they need to invest in something else, it was really a waste of time. So we see a lot of them. And that's why the YPG is there for them to avoid to waste all this time.
That is a great work.
Yeah,
Because if we can prepare them to know their skills, to know what they want, we would be saving 3.5 years of Yolo's time.
And you know what I'm seeing through the YPG is that people, maybe when we talk about it, because it's connected to the church anyway, so they will just think of Bible and all that. I see that the youth, the YPG supports the youth and they invest in them. They really invest in them because they are many places where you won't see what is happening with our YPG. I always see, I have a niece here in the church who's in the YPG. She learned sign language, is something that she never thought she would. I see her helping when we have events in Soweto. Even her mother is surprised that she has this now. It can be a career. And she got this from the YPG. So you see the support is not only spiritual, it's moral support. It's just a lot. They are really investing in the youth, and it's very important.
And I don't know if our audience understood. They go to schools.
Yes.
There is a mindset, no, it's for the people of the church. But the work they do, it's not necessarily for those who come into church. They go out there Sometimes they are not welcomed. Sometimes there are school principals who recognize the contribution, but they keep doing. Because, as we said, Matric is a dividing season in your life. But what happens after?
Yeah.
And that is what they are working on to prepare you for.
Not following Woman to Woman yet? We've just launched our social media platforms, your new go-to for all things Woman to Woman. Relive your favorite moments, watch past shows, discover powerful quotes, and enjoy exclusive content made just for you. Plus, don't miss special messages curated for our Woman to Woman family. Yes, that means you. Connect with us on WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram at Woman to Woman _TV, Facebook at Woman to Woman TV. Join the conversation and stay in the know with Woman to Woman.
It's interesting to hear about that.
Yes.
But the best is to know that we have supporting systems. Now we have someone else in our studio,
Yeah.
Mohau. And what is the case?
Now we are going to be different from Yolokazi. What happens when now you have to study something that your parents are pressurizing you for? Like, my parents chose my career. What happens? We are going to see that with Mohau.
Welcome to the show, Mohau. Nice to have you here.
It's good to be here.
So that was your case, isn't that?
Yes. When I grew up around, my mother was a professional nurse and my sister as well. So it was around a lot of medicine and all that. And I was doing very well at school. I was good at math. I was good at biology, science. So I took up those subjects. I was doing accounting as well. So I was excellent, to the point that standard 7, I got an achievement award, and I think they started to prep me, like to groom me to say, hey, you can be a doctor. I mean, it sounded great because, those years, our profession, like the professions that were popular were like a doctor, police, teacher, and nurse as well. So I think it was just taking it a step further with them. So no problem. I finished Matric. I passed indeed. I qualified for the university. But unfortunately, I didn't make it to Medunsa, which was the university that I was supposed to study medicine, which should have been the first sign that it's not your journey. Okay, no problem. So I went to the University of the North in Limpopo, and I studied BSc, Bachelor of Science. And
What a difference.
yes, but it still would lead you to
Still
that.
within,
It would take longer, but it would still lead you to be a medical doctor. I hated everything about that course. I hated the chemistry class because we had to dissect animals, and I would be the last one to leave every Monday. So when it was Monday, it was not because of, people hate Mondays, but it was because I didn't want to go to that class because I hated touching animals. It was gruesome, so I didn't want to touch it. And I think that was also a sign to me that you're not meant for this, don't do this. But I continued. I finished the year. But in that same year as well, I discovered psychology. And that was the class that I would pay attention and loved it, But when I left, to the point that I really didn't like it, I didn't bring back the results. So my parents paid the year. I didn't even want to know if I passed or failed. All I know was that I'm not doing this, and I went back home. So the following year, the schools are opening, and they're asking me, so what about school? And I'm hiding in the room because now I started to be in the church. And I want to tell them, but I was also, out of respect, afraid that I wasted money. And also, it's hard for me to say, I don't want to go and do what you're asking me to do. I hate it, And I did it in the bedroom, shouting from there because I couldn't sit like this and say, I don't want to do it. And honestly, the reception was so warm. I didn't expect. I was like, "Ah, why didn't you just say then? You know, so
That
what is
was
it?
great.
Yes, why didn't you just say then? And then what is it that you want to do? So I was like, okay, let me try Bachelor of Arts. So there was writing, philosophy and all of those subjects, psychology as well. So I think that's why I discovered like I'm actually good with people and I love writing. So I started pursuing, I started pursuing that. So to the point that now I'm in human resources, and honestly, my career took off in ways that I didn't even imagine, because of I was doing something that I'm enjoying, like talking to people, teaching, you know, like you're saying, communication, Mrs. Marcia, talking about policies, procedure, understanding culture, structure, diversity. Because what's interesting about working with people, you learn that people are different.
Yes.
And I think that's one lesson I would take, that people are different, but at the same time, we all want the same thing. We want to do well and we want to be well.
So I know you had a gap in your life.
Yes,
Not a gap year, a gap years.
Yes,
Then
yes.
you went back.
I did.
How was to resume your studies
Yes.
and to fit in years
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
and go for your degree?
And yeah, so it was not easy, I'm not gonna lie, like it was not easy adjusting. Changes are normally not, you know, easy. But like I said, the study of psychology, because I did it before. So one of the subjects that you study is about change. So there's good changes and there's bad ones. And both anyway causes stress. You know, it can be an exciting change, but it will still stress you out. And it can be like also a very bad change and still stress you out. So it's how you manage the change. What I did was I told myself I'm going to take things one day at a time. And I remember I would every day have that word in my mind, more one step at a time, one day at a time. And I registered like 2 subjects, 2 modules, sorry. I started with 2. And when I saw I did well, I added 1. When I did well, I added another 1. And there was a time that I was doing 5 modules in 1 semester. And I did very well in that. So I finished my degree, graduated, and I did my BCom as well. And that one, actually, I passed with honors, because I challenged myself that, okay, you did well, you almost got a distinction for the bachelor, but now challenge yourself to, you know, get a distinction. So I think 2022, I got a surprise letter from the dean's office that I was one of the best students, one of the top students for the past 3 years. I didn't know that. So they invited us to join what we call a top camps club. So like it was a club that gives us opportunities, and that's what led me to this entrepreneurial journey. They give us opportunity, like interacting with entrepreneurs. Like it's such a big opportunity. So April this year, because I wanted to start a company 2019, but the timing was not okay.
And you had a wonderful job.
I had a wonderful, that's the thing, because that
You worked
2019...
for one of the biggest embassies in South Africa.
Yes, and I wanted to, like 2019, I wanted to leave, because I did register a company, but it was not time. I remember my boss coming to my office and said, I haven't spoken to you in a long time, but I'm more. If you're planning to leave, please don't. And that I was like, how did you know that I'm thinking of leaving? And
I think investigating.
Yes, and I honestly, to till this day, I have never had the opportunity to ask, what made you come and ask me? So, okay, I said, that's fine. But also I understood why, because I was mid manager. So 2020, actually, I was promoted during COVID. I was promoted to be the senior, like the head of department of a local staff. And actually, I think that's where God wanted to prepare me for like what I was about to do now, because it was one of the best times of my career, like the traveling, everything, like meeting people. It was beautiful. And then, but time came now, because in April this year, the university organized, we have an annual event, and there was a speaker there as well. And the way she was speaking, they was fighting me that, hey, I think it's time, I think it's time. And I remember the only question I asked her, I said, how do you transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur? She just said, take care of your brand, you know.
Yeah.
So after that meeting, I spoke to the ladies who are in the club with us, the ladies who wants to be a co-founder of this company. So one agreed, and we started this company. And funny enough is that we are like left and right. She's good with like training and development. That's her specialty. And I'm good with everything else, HR, but not that one. So we make really a good
Complement
team.
each
Yes,
other.
we really make a good team. To the point that one of our goals is to go to schools, you know, help children who are under pressure from their parents, you know, give career guidance, do assessments, you know, take care of, and like help our youth to kind of like make good career decisions. Yeah, because honestly, the unemployment is very bad.
Yes.
The unemployment is very bad. And I think also what inspired me was that when I was doing my BCom, when I got that distinction, I challenged myself to write about unemployment. So I was interviewing the young people and from all like races, like it was diverse to hear what maybe one from an Indian race, what do they think? What does unemployment say to someone who's Caucasian, to, you know, a colored, to a black person? It was such a very interesting like conversation in one room that it inspired me to say, you know what, it's good to have a career, but make a difference. You know, go out there because, like I said, I study psychology. So even in there, it tells you that between this age and that age, this is where you should be. This is what you should be doing. So clearly, honestly, at the age that I am, I should be giving back to the communities. Now you have to advance. You know, I was fed. Now it's time to give to other people. So yes, Miss Marcia, and I'll be graduating hopefully next year. I'm finalizing my paper. Very tough, but I'm loving it. Doing my PhD, so hopefully I'll be called Dr. Momo.
Yes, Dr. Momo.
Dr. Momo, that's funny.
Beautiful.
Especially because we know Momo for many, many years.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Yeah.
taken the courage to say, this is not what I want,
Yeah.
if you were more afraid of disappointing your parents, would you be where you are today?
I don't think so. I think that while it's good to obey our parents, to like listen, obey, but also people pleasing, you know, it has its limits. Everything done in excessive is not good. So I'm glad that as much as it was so hard to tell, like I said, I was hiding in the bedroom, but I shouted it, I'm not going back there. But I did have the courage. And like I said, the reception as well helped me a lot. So I think parents should also learn not to kind of like pressurize their kids because we are all in a journey and everyone has the right to discover who they are, you know, to do what they love, you know, to choose because life is about making choices. And when you look back, you have to be like, wow, that was my life and I'm proud of it.
And you see, what I like with the story of Mohau is that she didn't want what the parents wanted, but also she didn't want to disrespect them. So I think even that for them, it's what propelled them to understand her because they saw that this girl doesn't like this, but also she still had respect for us not to disrespect us. So I think also the students or the kids, they should learn on how to say no to the parents without disrespecting their parents.
Yes, I agree, Ms. Togo, that's
And
true.
parents need to be open
Yes.
to hear out their youngsters. Because if you're not cut for this, what's the point?
True.
Working with HR,
Yes.
do you find people
Yes.
who have degrees and jobs and curriculums and all that, but they're trapped in the wrong
Ms.
profession?
Martha, 100%. Remember, the unemployment rate in our country is very high. So, you know what's said about South Africa is that people would hold a qualification for something else, and then they land, you know, doing something that, like, it's... And I think that's why a lot of time people, they're unhappy at work, they have attitude, you know, because, I mean, if you show up to a place, you don't want to be there, but you have to because you have to eat, you have to drink, you have to dress, you have responsibilities, basically. So it's not something nice to happen. And I have met people in that situation. Like we had a program, for example, where we hired university graduates. And we would even encourage them, say, listen, we're opening the door because usually they don't have any experience. And that's why it's harder for them to find work. So we would encourage them to say, hey, we have this program. We will put you anywhere in the department. When you are there, look where you belong and apply. So we are not holding them to say, you're going to work there for a year. The contract is for a year, was rather for a year. But we would give them the opportunity to, like, if you see anything within 3 weeks that you are here, go ahead and apply. So, and that program produced a lot of youngsters that, you know, ended up doing the jobs that they loved, you know, they became also, they grew in the company, and it helped also address, like I'm saying, the unemployment rate in the country. Sometimes I would encourage people, let's say, someone maybe, let's say even they're older, you know, they are not like the graduates, and they are finding it harder to, let's say, find work. We hire them temporarily the same way. And I would encourage them, say, okay, look, maybe this is not what you want, but pay attention. You know, learn what you need to learn, but pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention if there's anything that you see, apply, don't give up, you know. So I would always encourage that maybe you're not where you want to be, but look where you want to go. Have a plan. Don't just come and work and, you know, you are not thinking. Because one thing I've learned, I think about, even from my experience, that time waits for nobody. You know, someone, maybe I'll be talking to a lady, let's say at Spa, working at a till, and they'll be telling maybe how much the work is hard, maybe they're underpaid, and this and that. And I would ask them, I said, do you have Matric? Did you finish your Matric? No. I said, why did you not finish? Do you want to go back and finish Matric maybe? Or, you know, do something. Because at the end of the day, it will be 4 years later, you'd still maybe in the same job, but you didn't use your time wisely. Because whether you register or you don't, time is going. It's up to you to choose to go and do something about, you know, changing your life, even if it's not at the pace that you want, but you are changing your life. So I think that's what HR told me as well, like taught me that be mindful and sensitive to people and try to help them. Like sometimes you become a coach, you know, a mentor, but it's rewarding. Like when somebody comes back first, they said, I did it, and they are changing jobs, you know, they are using their time wisely. So yeah.
And you know, the Matric certificate is important.
Yes.
Because even with some small jobs, the first thing they will ask you, do you have Matric?
Yes.
So people sometimes don't understand that it's not about just achieving a certificate. It's for a career as a person.
It's the beginning, because
is the
no one
beginning.
hires today without a Matric
Yes.
certificate.
Yes.
Something else that I wanted to talk to you,
Yes.
that I see in South Africa still as a challenge.
Yes.
It's a lot of effort to write Matric,
Yes.
to pass, to find your passion and career.
Yes.
Invest years. Just Yola was here now, and she invested 7.5 years until she found
What
the
she wanted.
right path
Yes.
for her career. Then you're going to face unemployment. And worse, everyone who hires want at least 2 years experience.
Yes.
How can graduates have experience if 25 years from birth until 25, they are in school? Don't we have more programs that we could integrate those who are studying already to work in their field? Because that's a huge gap. Now you have a diploma of a lawyer,
Yes.
but you can't work as a lawyer because you don't have the experience. No company will hire you. You will have to start as a temporary, as a junior, as a secretary, as a legal secretary before you actually
Can be true.
work in your profession.
Yeah. So, Ms. Marsha, the good thing about, I think, a lot of companies that they're doing in South Africa is internships. I think
Yes.
here in South Africa, they are popular, you know. But what I don't like about them is that, honestly, they don't pay. You know, they don't pay. And I'm a firm believer of if somebody is working, pay them, you know, pay them, because they may not know, but you are teaching them. You know, you are passing, there's someone maybe there who's more experienced, who's passing knowledge. So, and the person is doing the job. So, you know, pay them. So I think if companies could maybe be mindful of that, that would be a good thing. But at least here we have internships. They are not like, I think they are 50-50. They work, sometimes they don't. But one of the things that I learned actually from the American culture that I loved, because I think US is one of the countries that they are high on like career and achievement, you know, and all of that. I used to notice when I started first working them, they are youngsters. They would, if the school closes, you know, here in South Africa, the kids would be at home or like gallivanting there, you know, but they...
Go to homeland.
Yes, but there, when the school closes, they look for work.
Yeah.
They start...
Actually, in the beginning, it was like this here.
Was it?
Because when I was studying
Yes.
in PE, what happened during school holidays. I remember I worked in FNB, the bank. We would be called, we go to work there. So I don't know what happened all of a sudden.
Yeah,
because that's a very good
That
thing.
is, because I started to notice, and honestly, that's when, you see, when I said I started to notice cultural differences, because
Yeah.
their kids they come to work. They start learning about the culture of work at 15, 16, you know, but our kids here, it's like finishing the food. The parents upset. When is the school
Or coming
opening?
back home pregnant.
Yes, you know, listen, you know, and really our youth culture is very scary,
Yes.
especially this day and age.
Exactly.
Honestly, if you know, maybe we could, or the youth could practice the culture of when the school closes, don't waste your
Go and
time.
look for it.
Go
Yes.
do something meaningful. Go volunteer,
Yes.
you know, at a shop to pack, let's say, the, you know, the, what do you call, the groceries, or do something. But learn a skill.
The YPG helps with that as well, because we motivate our youth not to stay idle.
Yes, yes.
Because once you are idle, you are going to get into bad company, and then you're going to start doing things that you wouldn't do. So we have the projects here in the YPG. They can come to
Yes.
us, but also in the YPG we have a project called Universities, that we have many professionals from many areas, and they can assign as well. Look for this opportunity. Go to this website. Go to that company. I did this, so I had an opportunity there. We even see going to schools that there are programs in schools for them to start doing something, to have some experience while they are in high school. We have a very non-YPG member lately. She's working in the junior parliament. So when she's in grade 10, if I'm not mistaken, she's 16. And when she finishes, she'll have already some experience. She'll have something to show. And going to schools, we deal with companies like you. We have a lot similar, so we can share experience as well.
Absolutely.
We meet other companies and other NGOs as well. They can start applying from high school to go to the police, to work in the police. And there are many different departments in the police where they can find themselves as well. So that's when the YPG come in as well. And
Because without experience in having a diploma, it doesn't change one's life.
Doesn't miss him.
In our country, Talita will know, I started working at the age of 13. Did we need that? Not necessarily. But my grandmother, she was very strict, and she said, go get a part job in the afternoon for you to know the value of money.
yes.
So we all started very early. My mother, my uncles, I started at 13. And then I developed the ability for administration.
Yes.
And then I went to BA, of course, communication, interacting with people. But I don't see, or I didn't see up to now, and now I'm happy to hear that things are changing and shaping in a different way. Because how are you going to start up to 23 years old, 25 years old, then you're going to start career. You will only benefit from your career when you are 35, 40.
True. True.
If you don't have setbacks, if you find a position. And that's why I see that many still choose to continue studying and not going to the field.
Yeah. And honestly, if you are gonna, like, you're investing in yourself, you should be rewarded as well. There should be rewards. You plant, you reap. You know, that's the law of life. So you can't be planting and
nothing.
not reap, because it's discouraging.
And I remember
it's discouraging.
this problem is a lot. In Kenya, we'll talk to people who have degrees, but, you know, educated people, but they're at home.
At home.
They will tell you, I've been at home for 6 years, 5 years, I don't have a job. And this is very unfair. After a person, as you said, the law of nature is give and you receive. So they have given so much, but they are not receiving anything. This
And
is
when
very
they find a
sad.
job, it has nothing to do with what they studied for. And that is frustrating.
And Ms. Marcia, there's no shame in starting low. I'm not going to call the names, but you know, when I was working for a law firm, and I was like the assistant HR manager, you know, to my boss. If she was not, I was in charge of HR and running the HR for the law firm. But when I went to the embassy, I applied for the lowest position there.
You see?
I became a clerk. because while I was doing my degree, there was a portion where there was about diversity. And I was interested in, I want to understand diversity from that perspective, from that the first world country. And I took the job and, worked my way up. But I was not afraid to get my hands dirty. I was not afraid that I was the least, because I knew what I had in me. I knew what I wanted. And at the end, it worked out perfectly. So sometimes also people may be ashamed to say, I don't want to flip a burger at McDonald's.
Exactly.
And maybe what if it's a skill that you go and run your own burger joint in the location? You can, whatever you learn, you can turn it to something that works. So I think also another mentality that in the country we have, or the youth have, is not wanting to doing an embarrassing job or something.
Like, I can't be a waitress and I have a degree.
Yes.
In America and other countries,
Yes.
it is pride.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm working.
Yes, I
during
pay
my
my own
holidays.
bills. I pay my own bills.
Yeah, I've
That's a
stayed in
big one.
Australia, and there you can have a license at the age, a driver's license at the age of 16, because it gives you the opportunity to find a job that goes up to 10 in the evening.
Yes.
And you need to drive to make your way home. So they create that, they instill
culture,
responsibility.
I think many things stopped here really in the beginning, because we even had night schools.
Yes.
We don't have that
We
anymore.
don't.
Because you would go to work
studied
during the
at
day,
night.
then night
forgot
school.
night school.
I studied at
So we
night.
used to have night schools. Our parents would go there, but we don't have that anymore.
So
the
it's a
field that
field
we-
that you have a lot to work on.
Yes. There's
As you
always
have
a
your
gap.
own company now,
Yes.
are
There's
we
a gap,
also
Miss
giving you
Master,
ideas
yeah.
and gaps in the market on that?
There's a gap, but we are open to address the gap, to teach these kind of things, you know what, go work, because also you're learning a work ethic, which is what a lot of people lack. Having a work ethic is important, because also it it represents who you are, your brand. Because when I say, oh, who is Miss Togo? We look at your work ethic.
Yes.
This is Miss Togo because of your work ethic. So it starts instilling the culture in the youth of, you know what, I have a job, even if it's at McDonald's, but they're making their own money, but they're learning, they're gaining a good work ethic. And when they become adults, then they'll be good managers or good leaders and all of that, because they're investing in the right way.
Because they learn responsibility.
They learn responsibility.
Learn to arrive on time, not the African time, because if you arrive late, you're going to be discounted from your salary. And I think we do have opportunities in South Africa, but they are not well spread.
True.
So that's why we come into companies like yours.
Yes.
For us to make a partnership to show to the youth, you do have opportunities, go after it.
Because what comes after Matric, if not having a sequence in your life? Mohau, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For leaving your busy schedule aside and being with us today to advise matriculants and parents as well.
Yes. No, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Now it's time for what it all means.
A very beautiful journey of Mohau, Mrs. Mercy. It's very beautiful. You see that parents sometimes they can make a mistake.
Yeah.
But you see with Mohau, though she said that I didn't like what I was doing and I did it because of my parents, she did not disrespect her parents. She didn't even know how to approach them, but because also, as parents, they realized that we have made a mistake, they listened to her. And parents, please, please, please do not force your kids to do what you want. Because sometimes, Miss Marcia, what happens is that maybe there was never a doctor within the family. So parents, they force their kids, you have to be a doctor.
The first one
in this family. And the kid has nothing to do with being a doctor or with medicine. And then you are wasting the time of your kid, all those years wasted because the child was trying to please you. Then they've wasted their own time. And also to the kids, because the program of today is both for parents and kids. I know that sometimes when we are in school, peer pressure propels us to try to compete. No, because a friend of mine is going to be a doctor, I want to be a doctor. And we spoke about parents. Like my father wanted me to be an attorney, but I never wanted, or actually I never liked that. But you have to choose wisely, because it's very important. We are talking about your life here. Maybe you are this person that says, you know, it's been 2 years. I found out that I'm on a wrong train. You know what I mean, eh? You are on a wrong train. And it's never too late. It's never too late, because once you climb on or jump in on a wrong train, it's better to jump off immediately, because it's going to be costly to go ahead. It will be very costly, because what am I saying here? The example of a train is that if you take a train and you are planning to go to Sentin, and then you find out that you are in a wrong train,
You end up in Pretoria.
you will end up in Pretoria. So you have to jump off immediately so that you don't pay more. Because once you jumped in a wrong train and then you go until the end, towards the end, it's going to be very costly. So you can jump off and start all over again. Mohau mentioned a lot of things here, Mrs. Marcia, that are very educative. You know, because sometimes maybe you did well in school, everything, you even have your diploma or your degree, but you just stayed there at home. You are doing nothing because of the fear of that. If I go and take a job that is like, maybe I'm a waitress or what, people are going to laugh at me, because sometimes we live for people.
Yeah.
Don't live for people. Do that job. Ms. Massa mentioned here that in Brazil, you were telling us, I liked that you were saying that in Brazil, you study, you are working, you have a job. At least you have that pride that I can pay something for myself instead of going to mom all the time.
You can't.
You can even help at home with bills. That is a nice pride, not an arrogant pride, of course, but a nice one. So you can do your job at the moment while you are working for something that you studied for. Then later on, then you can do whatever you want to do. So those are the tips that I can give. Remember that jump off from the wrong train, because it will be costly. It will be costly, Mrs. M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have prepared more tips.
Yes.
How to find not only a career, but your passion.
Yes.
Let us watch.
After the break. Passions are powerful feelings of enthusiasm about a task or activity. It goes way beyond mere interest. The pursuit of your passion seems to speak to the essence of who you are. When you are completely immersed in your true passions, you may find that time seems to fly. Your passion isn't just about finding a career path you're passionate about. It's a journey towards self-discovery and requires you stepping out of your comfort zone. Here are 4 steps to help you get started on your journey to find your passion. 1. Self-reflection. Take time to understand what activities make you feel fulfilled and excited. Journaling can help clarify your thoughts. 2. Volunteer or intern. Get hands-on experience in areas of interest. 3. Network. Connect with professionals in the field you're curious about. Informal interviews can provide valuable insights and inspiration. 4. Embrace challenges. Step outside your comfort zone. Taking on new challenges can reveal hidden strengths and passions. Now that you have an idea of where to start, let's head back to the studio.
Now maybe you are asking yourself, what happens when your dreams do not come true, or when you feel like your world has crumbled down? Do I have to sit down and give up? That's the question I'm throwing to you.
And this is why we have Kitty on studio today. Thank you for coming, joining us to Woman to Woman.
Thank you so much for having me.
Because you are exactly this case.
Yes,
We
yes.
have 800,000 students writing Matric from Monday.
Yes.
All in the hope to go to varsity, to go to college. What happens when that doesn't come through?
With me, I completed my matric in 2015. The plan was to immediately go to varsity, but I applied And then that didn't happen because I got rejected, you know, because my maths wasn't really that good.
What course you wanted to do?
I wanted to do diploma in policing or human resources. So I couldn't do that because of my maths. So because of that, then my uncle suggested that I start looking for a job, you know, because, you know, it's going to be more costly for me to do the upgrading. And given the fact that most people that I know that upgraded, their upgrades were not really that upgraded. So I just thought maybe I should just listen to my uncle and start looking for a job. I did that. And then, you know, it was a struggle to look for a job, especially when you don't have, you know, experience. You just, you know, from Matric. I have Matric, but I don't have, you know, enough scores. So I then started to look for a job, anything that would come, because now you're desperate. You don't want to stay at home. You want to do something. I started looking for a job. It didn't really work out. Well, I found this other job, you know, it was in sales. It wasn't really that safe because, you know, with sales, you travel a lot and, you know, you'd be working there at night and it wasn't safe given the fact that I was in the village as well. So I decided to quit the job. After quitting the job, now I'm there wondering, okay, what's next? I didn't know what to do. It was just a confusion. The fact that I don't know what I want to do. And again, I know when I figure out something to do, now I don't know what to do because I can't get what I want to do. So I then started to maybe thinking that I could actually be a rapper. You know, I got to a point where I wanted to be a rapper because when you're a rapper, nobody will look at your Matric. Nobody cares about your scores.
As long as you have fame
As
and
long as you
success.
have fame, you
You're
have success.
famous.
As long as I'm famous, as long as I'm behind that camera, you know. So I considered that. I remember I met with this guy who was already into that industry. We sat down, you know, jotted down some lyrics there. So it was really fun, but at the end of the day, I was like, no, it's not for me. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can. Now I started going back to the drawing board. Okay, what next? What can I try again? I thought of being a writer. You know, I started sitting down, maybe I could write a book. I would write, you know, I would write. But all the books that I wrote, I did not complete because it wasn't really my passion. I was just doing it because I was just trying something, you know. So I stopped that as well. Okay, now what? I was there now confused, trying to figure out what to do. I then decided maybe I should go to Joburg because I was in the village. Because we know that in Joburg there's, you know,
Where
a
are you
lot
from?
I was from Limpopo.
Limpopo.
Yes. So I thought maybe I should go to Joburg because there's a lot of opportunities there. And then I headed to Joburg. When I got here, I got distracted, you know. I got too busy with things, with life, you know. A nightlife. I even forgot the purpose why I came to Joburg. I started wanting to have fun, you know. I forgot to now focus on the, you know, the reason why I came to Joburg. Up until I realized that, no, girl, you're losing track. You're losing track. You need to go back to your, you know, purpose of coming to Joburg. I started looking for a job. Now it was no longer a thing of looking for something you're passionate about. It was about looking for something that's available. You know, offers would come. I remember I'm not sure if it's still available. Every year there's, you know, these forms that are released from the police.
From the police, yes.
Yes, I would apply for that as well. I started applying for that. I did not get called, you know, because it's not easy to get into these things, honestly speaking, with a lot of, you know, young people applying every year. It's not really easy. I never got, but I would apply year after year. I would apply. Even my uncle, he was into military, so he'd also get the forms. You know, like I said, it wasn't now a matter of passion. It was about, you know, what's available. Yeah. So my uncle would also, you know, would bring from his work the forms for military. And I would apply as well, but I never, you know, really got in as well. So it became really a challenge after my Matric. I think I spent like 4 years trying to figure out what to do.
I think all your trials were it and a result of the frustration you did not make it.
Yes. I spent all those years, you know, trying to figure out. I did not know what I wanted to do. I did not know what I loved. what I loved when I wanted to do it because of, certain reasons I could not get it, so it was really a
There's 4
struggle.
years trying, it seems an eternity.
Yeah. Because also in the military, you need to have a good matric certificate. You cannot just be I passed my matric, but how did you pass? Did you pass that well?
Yes, yes.
And how did you feel? Like, did you feel that you would never find what you love?
At some point, I'd go to that point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm tired of trying. Whatever comes, if it comes, it'll come whenever it comes. So, but, God came through for me. He did come through for me.
Up until then, you were not in the church.
Yes, I was not in the church. I was not in the
So
church.
coming to Joburg, it was also when you were so frustrated,
Yes.
lost, confused,
Yes, yes.
then you were invited to the church.
I was invited to the church. When I arrived to the church, I started to learn about the things of the church. So at least I got, an idea. God gave me a vision. I started now praying for jobs, and then I got them. At least I started being in the right industries. I remember the first good job I can say that I got, I was under the social work department, so I was working there. And yeah, I started to see that I'm going somewhere now. I'm going somewhere. With the experiences that I got from that company, it gave me a vision to now, start operating in that industry, the social development industry, which is what I'm currently doing now. The aftercare program, helping school children with their, schoolwork, and, helping them with, literature crisis that we have in South Africa. So, which is what I'm doing
You
now.
started your own
I
business.
started my own business. I
Oh,
started my own
nice.
business. So now I'm no longer, confused or frustrated or anxious or, because of what I want to do. Now I know what I want to do. And the fact that I know what I want to do, it gives me, that something to look forward to every day and to run after. I'm no longer, all over the place doing that and that, but I'm focusing on one
How long
thing.
did you stay in that period where you lost track? We came to Joburg and then you started partying, you started having the nightlife. How long were you in that life?
For months. I think it was for months, like probably 4 months, 6 months.
It wasn't that bad,
It
eh?
wasn't really that bad. It was just for
Because
months.
you could have gotten lost, really lost, ne?
I see Kitty's example as a message of hope.
Yes.
Because we know for a fact, it has been announced that matric pass rate sits on 55%. So a little more than half. Think about 897,000 students writing. 400,000 of them will not make. So how to cope and to go ahead after such frustration? And what we see is that it brings to them depression. They lose sense of value and purpose. And they give themselves to waste their life, as you did, for some time. But thanks God, after you put your life back on track. And for someone who did not pass matric, but did not go to the varsity, today she is an entrepreneur. That is the proof that after that, if it doesn't work one way, you still can make it to work the other way.
Yes.
Tali, what is the support of the YPG for those cases?
We do.
Because she's not the only one.
No,
Yeah.
not at all, Ms. Marcia. We do receive a lot of youth who they gave up.
Yes.
Because they've been trying and failing and failure after failure. And I'm sure you in the youth as well, in the YPG, you also see many stories of
Yes.
those who come. And some of them come to the point of even trying to commit suicide.
Yes.
Because it feels like you will never find your place in the world. It feels like you will never be happy doing anything. And that's when the YPG comes in as well with the emotional and spiritual support, because we have the project that we call HELP, which deals with depression, those who are depressed, those who suffer of anxiety. They have a lot of this pressure that they put on themselves. We had pressure from peers, from the parents, but there is that pressure that you put in yourself as well. And I think that's the worst, because you cannot run away from that. So in the YPG, we have that support. We have mentors who went through that. We have stories like Kiddies, like Mohaus, like Yolokazi, and many others. People who failed. When we speak about success, it's beautiful. People who made it in life.
It's what all of us want.
Exactly. It's for those who are watching, it's easy for you to watch and see her here saying, okay, she made it, but I don't think I will. So we have people who went through the struggle, who failed a lot, all of us, actually, as while Ms. Toko was speaking about, I was thinking about my own experience as well. I decided the course that I wanted to do.
You are another one.
Because it was the closest to my house and to the church.
Yes.
And the cheapest one because I was paying for my own school fees. And I was doing well. My marks were well in my course. But I didn't see myself there. And I wasted time as well. So all of us, we have a story of failure. And when they come to the YPG, they learn that failure is not the end. Well, exactly like Kiddies. How many people we have who they didn't get to varsity as well, but they gave up.
They gave up.
How many people in the statistics that it has been spoken a lot in the woman to woman of suicide, of depression, of people who end up going to psychiatrists with no hope and they leave out of medication for them to try to cope. So we do have those stories, but praise God, in the YPG, we have the stories of after failure, you have success.
Like Kiddy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know the story of Kiddy. Though she did not fail Matric, she passed, but not with the good rates.
Yes.
You see that her uncle told her that, okay, for you to supplement and all that is going to be expensive, look for a job. And not because they didn't want you to continue or to further your studies, but they knew that you have to do something. Because parents, sometimes they don't tell you. I know that. My father would say to me, should you just fail, please go and look for a job. Because now you'll have to pay for your studies, just like Charlie was paying for his studies. Sometimes they might not say that. In other words, your uncle was telling you, go work. Then later on, you can educate yourself, isn't it?
Yes,
Exactly like that. So sometimes kids get frustrated when it's like this. Oh, you don't want me anymore. I'm not your child anymore. They even pack and go. That's why we have many who live in the streets today. Some of them, it's not because they are homeless.
And they turn to drugs.
Some of them, it's not because they are homeless. It's because they had this unruly spirit in them. They told themselves, Mom doesn't want to pay my school fees, but they don't have money. You failed, you wasted the money. So go look for a job, then you educate yourself.
Did you further your studies somehow?
I never furthered my studies. I actually got an opportunity to do a learnership in social auxiliary work, which is the one that gave me those skills that I needed.
So at least you invested in your skills.
I invested in my skills, which is what I need for the industry that I'm in right now. So yeah, that's what I did.
How long do you have your business for?
It's almost a year now. It's almost a year.
It's nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because you symbolize the after that didn't go according to plan, but you did not remain in failure.
I didn't remain in failure.
You're seizing opportunities to forward your life.
Yes, yes, I did that.
And what is interesting, Ms. Marcia, is that everyone has her own story.
Yeah.
So people are watching and maybe they're like, okay, I get you. I feel motivated when I watch the programs, when I watch the lives of the YPG. Why do we tell them to come? Because you will have a one-on-one. You will know what to do for your life. Yes. Maybe someone is identifying themselves with the story of Kiddies, but maybe someone else has a different story. It's a different background. That's why we tell them, come to us, get into contact through the helpline, the handles of the woman to woman, the pages, because we'll be able to find someone who will be able to mentor you and guide you through what to do.
In a world where true kindness is becoming rare, it's time for us, the YPG, to redefine compassion. You may be wondering what the YPG means. Well, the Youth Power Group is a youth organization focused on grooming young men and women to become responsible members of their families, communities, and society at large. The YPG helps young people uncover their unique talents and build on their strengths. This group offers weekly orientation seminars known as Hangouts and projects focused on media, sports, arts and culture, and other topics which will cater to youth. These projects guide them towards making positive choices and walking away from destructive life choices such as drugs, alcohol, reckless living, just to name a few. The most noticeable YPG project is the HELP project. This project aims to lead youth who suffer from internal battles such as depression, anxiety, trauma, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and lack of self-confidence. It addresses these issues and, where necessary, offers counseling to young people suffering from any form of mental illness. The YPG mentors have been visiting schools throughout South Africa, highlighting these issues and many more. All of this is aimed at awakening young people to positive changes in life and ensuring that they never go down destructive paths as a way out of life's challenges.
The YPG also has youth-based programs such as Something Extra on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. and Vibe O'Clock, which airs every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. These programs tackle issues that young people face and also offers career guidance. If you're interested in being part of the YPG fam, head over to our social media pages at YPGRSA and send a DM, or you can call our toll-free helpline to get the address of the closest branch at 0800 330 320. Do you think we have covered everything? The YPG aims to teach youth how to withstand the fires of life and to keep going no matter the circumstances. By boosting self-awareness and confidence, we inspire the youth to dream big and take bold steps towards their futures. The YPG is more than just an organization. It is a supportive family that nurtures young visionaries, turning dreams into reality together.
As we are excited about the next days, those who are writing Matric are overwhelmed. I'm sure we are excited for them.
Yeah.
Parents are excited when the results come out. But I wanted to summarize our show of today in one word.
Now it's time for God's point in this.
So God's point in this is simple. This I recall to my mind. Therefore, I have hope. Through the Lord's mercies, we are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. Lamentations. Exactly what we're telling you today. It might not go according to your dream or plan, or you might not even have a dream or plan right now. You're confused, you're lost. You're going in the flow. My friend is doing this, I will do this. My parents want me to do this, I will do this. I'm studying and I have no joy in what I'm doing. Do not lose hope. You have a future. We brought you 3 cases, different situations, and there are so many more. One thing is common. They overcame because they are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. God renews His mercies and compassion every morning. It did not work for you today. Do not lose heart. Do not lose hope. You have a future. So we wanted to pray today specifically for the matriculants. We wanted to pray for those who are certain they will make, for those who are not. And we wanted to pray for those who have failed, and maybe they find themselves in the old kiddies situation. thinking that there is no future. God will give you an idea. God will encourage you today. So we will bless them.
Yes, Miss.
Toko, bless the ones who are writing exams.
Okay.
And I will bless those whose plan failed. But that's not the end.
Yes.
Because God's mercies are renewed every day.
Amen.
Shall we bless you?
Yes, let us pray. Our Lord and our Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, my Lord, once more again, we thank you for this beautiful and wonderful program that we know that it has reached so many people and it will help parents and their children, my Father. At this moment, Lord, we take this opportunity to pray for those who will be writing their exams, my Lord. All the matriculants of this country and other countries, my Lord. We bless them, my Father, asking you to give them wisdom, my Lord. Father, if they are confused, and when they get confused, Lord, as they are writing their exams, my Lord, remove this confusion in them. Frustrate the confusion in their minds, my Lord, and bless them. Give them wisdom and understanding, my Father. When they write their exams, may they understand everything that is written on the question papers, my Lord. I know that it's not easy, my Father. It's difficult, but with you, the Bible says everything is possible. I ask you, Lord, to give them the wisdom that surpasses all understanding, my Father. Give them strength and strengthen their minds, because sometimes, my Lord, many of them, they have intelligence, but they don't know how to use it. Open their minds, my Lord. Do not allow them, my Father, to be weak-minded, because some, whenever they write the exams, they even confess with their mouths that they have failed because of fear. Remove this fear, my Lord, and strengthen their mind. Make their minds strong, my Lord, for them to understand that when they write these exams and pass, my Lord, at the end of the day, your name will be glorified through their studies, my Lord. So we bless them, my Lord, and this is for your honor and for your glory. In Jesus' name we pray.
We bless also those who see themselves as failures. Maybe things did not go the way they planned, they thought, they wished, and now they don't see that they failed in one area. They brought upon themselves to be failures. They gave up about life. They don't have dreams anymore. They don't believe they can succeed. They can still build a career. They can change their life around. My Father, as your mercies are renewed every day, renew their mind so that they see there is hope, there is a future. If it did not work in one way, there is another way that you are going to give to them, but they don't need to give up. My Father, I also rebuke the spirit of suicide, that we know that stats grow after Matric because they see such desolation. They only think about finishing their lives. I rebuke this spirit now, and I bless them with the renewal of their mind to find their path, their passion, their future, and claim it in your name. Be blessed, all the matriculants of South Africa and Africa, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much, Kitty and Tali, for being here. It tells them that we have supporting systems. As the church, as YPG, we are there with you because we want you to find your path as we did. Until next week, God bless you all. Bye-bye.